And welcome back. We have the MusicNomad Acousti-LOC. This is a standard thread, this one, and it's a strap lock adapter for standard output jacks. We'll go through a few of the pics so you get an idea what we're talking about. However, they have two of them. One's metric, one's standard. This one's compatible with most Martin guitars with Fishman Electronics, Taylor guitars up to 2002. Now, the Taylor guitars that I've been buying, of course, are much, much newer. So, yeah, not going to work. They have a special adapter just for that. And I have one because I've had Taylor guitars that would use it. Anyways, anyhow, so this one's compatible with most Martin, Fishman Electronics, Taylor, Switchcraft output jacks, etc., etc. So, anyways, I bought two of these. I wasn't sure. Well, I knew I had Fishman Electronics, but you know, you got to buy both anyways because the word most gets in there, and it's kind of like, well, you never know. Maybe somebody mix and match some parts. You have no idea. Anyways, so they've got this, and it's got two different thread types. They also have here that you've got 3-screw output jacks as well. Okay, which is kind of a little bit different design. Maybe I should have bought that one. This one here is found on, specifically designed for 3-screw output jacks and end pins found on Taylor guitars with the ESB or ES-Go, Taylor GS Mini without electronics, Takamon guitars, and Yamaha guitars and more. 2-in-1 strap button to use with Shaler strap locks as well, sold separately, or reverse button for a quick, secure non-strap lock solution. Non-strap lock solution. Anyway, strong, solid brass, black in color, Taylor, blah blah blah. Okay, so we got a few different models of these, right? They do cover a wide range of guitars. You just got to click on the links to know which guitar you're going for. But when it comes to this style here that's threaded on, they say most. Now, the other one, of course, that I bought was this one here. And if you see the picture, you take off step one. Take off the little cap. Now, I got the little cap on my Epiphone with Fishman Electronics. And, but either way, one's metric, one's standard. So I bought both to just save some frustration. You will find a hole, by the way, right in here where you're going to jam an Allen key through. You're going to want to snug this nut up really good first before threading this thing on. But you also have to make sure that everything is in the right twist on your jack so that when you finish threading this thing in, it's on the right angle for your strap, which became problem number one for me. And you don't know if it's on the right angle until you actually thread the stupid thing on. Well, I threaded it on, and then I just kind of tried to get things going, and all of a sudden, it loosens off my jack. And I'm like, great, now let's see if we can take this back off again. You better have a steel dental pick kicking around, because you're going to have to go on the inside of the jack hole with an angled, 90-degree angled dental pick, and we're talking steel dental picks, and try and undo that thing again. That is going to be a pain in the butt. I went through the worst nightmare possible just in attempting to get this thing to work. By the time I actually got it all done and balanced out, I plug in my wireless. My lights light up on my wireless. I have the Boss system, so it's an automatic power on thing. That all lights up fine. Everything connects fine, but no sound. Oh, great. And I use wireless because I hate cables. They're dangerous. They can cause all kinds of nightmares. But I do have cables regardless, just in case I need them. So I tried a cable. Well, that's sporadic at best. But hey, at least I got a little bit of sound there, so not bad. However, I still do not want to be forced to be tied down to a cable. I need to use wireless. So this is going to be a problem. All right. So by the time you thread the thing on there, it still sticks out too much. It protrudes out too much in this area in here. As you can see how much it's recessed there. That's where our problem is. And it doesn't go on any deeper. Well, it can. Of course it can. You adjust the length of your jack, obviously. Okay? No brainer there. Real pain in the butt, real hassle. Oh, the frustration. I had to get my wife to help. I was ready to blow a gasket. There's just so many problems because there's also two other washers on the inside that once that jack goes in on you, yeah, everything falls apart. And it's like, oh man, really? And even adjusting it out a little bit longer, and you got to watch the length, otherwise you won't lock down your outside nut and screw, which is another problem, right? Guitar manufacturers don't think outside the box enough here. Anyhow, perhaps in a later date, when I de-stress a bit, I'll show you what I'm talking about with that kind of a jack system. But anyways, so either way, you've got a recess, and extra length is not helping you here, okay? So it's not going to protrude out any further past this adapter to allow you to have things working properly. That's yet another problem. Yet they show this thing, of course, with a cable. They don't take into account you're going to use a wireless system, but who really cares? You should be able to use either one, right? That's my theory, right? You should have that choice. But again, with the cable, it was sporadic, but it did at least give me some sound. But these are a neat design. I will give them that. Okay, they do have a neat design. The one here, for the Taylor, I mean, if you want to use a strap lock, this would be ideal on like a GS Mini. Okay, now the GS Mini, I have no issues with the strap pins, including the jack system on, because they show it here, right? And it goes in behind. So you're going to definitely need some longer screws. I don't know if this one comes with longer screws, but hopefully it does, because otherwise your screws are going to be a little shy of length. But you'll notice you still got your jack pin here and you got the jack pin here. That, I think, is kind of interesting. I think it's kind of stupid, but also interesting. But you need your jack either way. So you're going to have two options. Use a strap lock or don't. Well, what's the point in getting this if you don't have problems with this part anyways for your strap that came with the guitar? You know what I mean? And besides, there's other solutions that would cost you next to nothing. Like you got those little rubber grommet things. If you're having a problem with your strap, then use one of those. They work actually really well. I've got 2 sets of them. My wife uses them too. She actually got onto those first and she really liked them on her guitars, and it's like, well, maybe I'll try a set and see how they work. And on some guitars, yes, they do work very well. They're a thick rubber, but they do work, you know. Not on every solution, though. However, if you're paranoid in the panties, you can get this system. Either way, you can use a Shaler strap lock, and then your guitar is secure. Just remember that when you buy your Shaler strap locks, one of the other pins that comes in the kit will have to be reinstalled in place of your factory one on the neck. So you're still going to have a strap lock type connector on either side. And the strap lock, how can I show this without blowing up at the picture? Here, let me see. Right here. See this part here? Okay. This is what we're looking at. Okay. That's where your strap lock goes. These are special connectors. You cannot put a Shaler strap lock on this end down in here. It has to go up here, which means you're going to need a set of Shaler strap locks anyways, and you'll use only one of those adapters from the kit for the neck of your guitar, which no big deal, whatever, okay? It is what it is. So I had nothing but a huge nightmare with this system. I don't really honestly recommend it, especially if you're using wireless, but also keep in mind it's very finite to make sure you get a good, solid, proper lockup connection when you plug your guitar plug into the jack of your guitar. So there's adjustments that need to be done, but you can only go so far because of that stupid recess that they have on this thing. Now that we got this is the recess in here. This protrudes up too tall. If this was thinner, that it came flush, we wouldn't be doing this video, because I would have successfully had it done, no hassle. I would have said, congratulations, Nomad. Once again, you've come through for me. But in this case, not a chance. And I'm not taking the time to modify a brand new part. You should not have to modify something to get the darn thing to work. And you're going to make a total ugly mess of it regardless, because you're going to end up blowing all the finish off of this thing just to sand it down. And hopefully you sand it down flat enough properly. Okay, and without messing up any threads that are going to be coming up to a certain point here. So yeah, I tend to disagree with the 200 ratings of 4.5. I'd like to say this thing's about worth a 2 in my books, you know. And like I said, I follow the video. I know what I'm doing, you know, and how to do this stuff. I just ordered 2 of them to make sure I actually had the right thread, because it's not necessarily that easy for most people to know. And in this case, I had a pretty good idea of which one it would have been, but I still wanted to cover my butt regardless, just to make sure, because you never know what manufacturers are actually going to do. Just because it says Fishman does not necessarily mean they have that particular thread on that end, okay? Anything can happen in factories when they assemble stuff. We all know that by now, I'm sure, or at least if you don't, now you do. Weird stuff goes on. So, take your chances. If it works for you, fantastic, and I'm happy for you. If it doesn't work, well, definitely do your own video explaining what guitar you tried this on and how it worked out for you. Now, it's possible if I would have put this on a guitar and had the different adapter, maybe it would have worked, maybe it wouldn't have worked either. You know what I mean? But either way, my experience with the Epiphone J200 with the Fishman electronics and the one that's designed to work with Fishman did not pan out. Now, the other one will not thread on. Only the one designed for will thread on, because metric and standard threads are completely different. Anyways, so they're on their way back at some point today. I got to drop them back off in the mail and get my refund on both of them, which is fine. That's the one thing I like about Amazon. If something doesn't work out for you, you can always send it back for a refund. Yeah, as far as my experience goes with this, no. The Taylor Nomad adapters, I've never had a problem with those. They've been fantastic from this same company. But they need to improve this one, thin that area out so that it comes more flush and can come more flush with the threads. And I think they would have an absolute flawless and easy to not only install product, but also it's going to work with anybody's type of guitar connection, be it wireless systems of any form or a regular cable. And if a cable works, a wireless should work. And, you know, yeah, we're having too many problems. So that's it for me on this one. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video, and we'll catch you on the next one, okay? See ya.